Thanks for joining me today for another episode of A White Woman in Distress. This podcast is about raising awareness for missing kids, teens, and adults. My goal is to help spread the word and find those who are missing. We need to come together as a community to help find these people. We need to stop ignoring what we see and start looking out for each other. I understand that you want to stay safe, but it's important to speak up when you notice something's wrong. If someone you loved was missing, you would want people to help. People who think, this can never happen to me. You really need to understand that it can happen to anyone. Every single day, children, mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, etc., they all go missing. You don't have to put yourself at risk. You can always call in tips anonymously, and then if they ask your name, just tell them that you want to remain anonymous. Our goal should ultimately be to bring everyone home safely, because that's what we would want if our loved one was missing. Everyone deserves to know what happened, and families deserve closure. Sometimes when I do post videos, I will be adding in a few crime scene photos maybe, but this may not be one of them, but this may be one of them. So viewer discretion is advised. This content may discuss violence, sexual assault, and murder, which may be distressing to some. Listener discretion is also advised. Today, we're going to be exploring the mysterious and troubling disappearance of Devin Sacoya Cooper. Born on August 9th, 1988, was a 33-year-old transgender woman living in the north side of Columbus, Ohio. She was known for her vibrant personality and was well loved by her family and friends. Standing at 5'5" and weighing around 145 pounds, she had distinctive black lemonade braids and tattoos on her thighs, which read Sacoya on the back of her left thigh and Go Get the Money on the front of her right thigh. Sacoya was an active member of her community, participating in local events and maintaining a close-knit circle of friends. Her family described her as a loving and caring individual who was always there for those who needed it. She was a beacon of light for many, and her absence has left a significant void in many people's lives. On the evening of August 31st, 2021, Sacoya left her residence near Howie Road and Weldon Avenue around 11:30 p.m. She was driving her car, which was a black 2009 Ford Fusion. She had intended to go to a nearby convenience store. However, she never returned home from this quick trip and was reported missing the next day. She was reported missing on September 1st, 2021, and this was the beginning of such a strange case that would leave investigators and her loved ones searching for answers. The last known sighting of Sacoya was by a neighbor who saw her getting into her car on the night of her disappearance. The surveillance footage from the convenience store that she had actually intended to go visit didn't show her ever arriving, suggesting that she may have been intercepted before reaching her destination. So the initial search for Sacoya involved local law enforcement, which was the Columbus Division of Police. Her car was such a significant piece of the investigation since she was seen getting into it by a neighbor, and it wasn't at her apartment building either. So her black Ford Fusion was later found abandoned on the west side of Columbus. Authorities gathered unspecified evidence from the vehicle, and here's where things just get way more confusing. It didn't have the original license plate on it. Like, somebody changed the license plates out. However, when they compared the VIN numbers, that's how they noticed that it was her. Despite all of these clues, there was no sign of Sacoya, and the case grew more concerning. So the police searched the area where the car was found. They interviewed residents, and they checked surveillance footage from nearby businesses. They even got a search dog that was brought in to track her scent, but the trail went cold. So the community organized search parties that focused on parks, wooded areas, and abandoned buildings. So several theories emerged after she went missing, and some of those theories were that maybe she got abducted, given the suspicious circumstances of her car's abandonment and whatever evidence that they had collected. Others think that foul play was involved, which was the theory supported by law enforcement due to the unusual nature of her disappearance and the quick involvement of the FBI, which was offering a $10,000 reward for information leading to her discovery. Friends and family believe that Sacoya would not have left with anyone voluntarily, which makes sense because she's a young woman and she was on her way to the convenience store They suspect she was taken by someone she knew or she was targeted due to her transgender identity. The possibility of her being a victim of a hate crime has also been considered, given the increase in violence against transgender individuals, which is absolute garbage. If you have any kind of disapproval of that, I'm sorry to tell you this, but it's none of your business and it is none of your concern what someone else is doing with their life. And you should really get over it, because everyone deserves to be treated as a human being and everyone deserves love. So, I don't know how else to say this, but if you have a problem with anyone because of the way that they feel about themselves, then you really need to get yourself checked out, because something else is wrong with you. Because someone else's business is not your business and none of your concern. And if you let it affect your personality, then you're the problem. Anyway, back to the story. The disappearance of Sacoya has gathered significant media attention and community involvement. Various news outlets have continuously covered the case, and social media campaigns have been launched to raise awareness. The community has shown strong support for the search efforts, with many participating in ground searches and spreading awareness through local events and social media platforms. Many vigils and rallies have been held in her honor, and her story has been shared widely in the hopes of reaching someone with crucial information. Even if it's a super tiny piece of knowledge, it may just be enough. So always know that if you see something, just say it, just call it in. You can be anonymous. Okay? Just stop pretending that you don't see anything. It's important, okay? We need to bring Sacoya home and everyone else. All of their families deserve this. If you were in the same situation, you would want someone to say something. You would want your family to know. The media coverage has helped keep her case in the public eye, maintaining pressure on law enforcement to continue their efforts. Sacoya's disappearance has been devastating for her family. They have made numerous public appeals for information, expressing their grief and desperation to bring her home. The emotional toll on the family has been profound as they navigate the uncertainty and fear surrounding Sacoya's disappearance. Her family describes her as a loving individual who would not just disappear willingly, reinforcing the belief that foul play is involved. Her mother, in particular, has been very vocal in the media. She has been sharing personal stories and highlighting the emotional impact of Sacoya's disappearance. The family has also worked with local LGBTQ+ organizations to raise awareness and support for the search efforts. With the involvement of the FBI, the investigation has utilized modern techniques, including extensive searches using drones, thermal imaging, and thorough review of digital footprints. The FBI and Central Ohio Crime Stoppers continue to urge anyone with any information to come forward, believing that even the smallest piece of evidence could break this case wide open. Investigators have also re-examined forensic evidence from the car and surrounding areas by using advanced techniques that weren't available at the time of her disappearance. Digital forensic experts have analyzed her phone records and social media activity for any clues of any kind. They have not found anything related to the case. Friends and family members have shared personal stories about Sacoya, painting a picture of a joyful and caring person. Their testimonies highlight the emotional impact of her disappearance and the community's determination to find answers. These personal accounts provide a deeper understanding of Sacoya's life and the urgency to locate her. One of her friends recounted how Sacoya helped her through a difficult time, always offering a listening ear and a kind word. Another described Sacoya's love for music and dancing, which brought joy to everyone around her. Several theories have been proposed over the years regarding Sacoya's disappearance. Law enforcement continues to explore all possibilities, keeping the lines of communication open with the community and encouraging tips and information. The investigation remains active, with new leads being followed as they arise. Devin Sacoya Cooper's disappearance remains one of Columbus's most perplexing mysteries. And despite extensive search efforts and numerous theories, her case still remains unsolved. If you have any information regarding the disappearance of Devin Sacoya Cooper, please contact the Columbus Police Department at 614-645-4545 or the Central Ohio Crime Stoppers at 614-461-8477. Every tip, no matter how small, could be crucial in solving the case and bringing peace to Sacoya's family. Thank you for listening to this episode of A White Woman in Distress. Stay tuned for more updates on this case and other stories. Your support and vigilance can make all the difference. Remember, if you see something, say something, and do something.